are back in Dallas, Oregon, day 6 of Opera Organically. I'm here again with Becky Green, and we were talking about weeds.
Yes. So we came to where we've got some good examples of weeds.
Yes.
Remember when we talked earlier about weeds that you want, that you keep?
Yeah.
That's this. That's a poppy.
Oh, okay.
But the weeds you don't want, the ones that we want to get rid of, that's this, the prickly lettuce.
Okay.
So that's what we need to pull.
Okay, so what I think you were saying earlier is that the things that we want and the things that we don't want are at the same time in our heads.
Right.
And when it comes to singing, there are lots of things that we want and we don't want. And you told me an interesting story before we walked over here about when you were in 5th grade.
Oh yeah, when a girlfriend and I we're going to try out for the chorus. Now I'm not a singer like Becky is, but we wanted to sing in the little school chorus, and a 5th grade teacher told me I couldn't sing. And when you're that young, that's a weed. Right. I mean, you get that in there, and you think you can't do it, and it's really hard to get it out.
Right.
So the bigger it gets, the harder it is to pull.
Right, right. And what then we would do as singers is maybe you go along in your life, like if you had grown up and thought, well, maybe no, that idea of singing is still in your head, maybe you wanted to start studying singing, you would need to get a group of people, get some resources around you to help you pull that weed out.
Exactly.
And so what we have, you can see we've come prepared. Becky and I have gloves on, and it's really important when we're dealing with these weeds in our mind that we are protected. And for me, the protection in my life when I was dealing with my own weeds in my mind regarding my singing, again, I was told by several people, even after I had my degree, supposedly should have been able to sing, I was told by several that I couldn't and that I shouldn't. So I had this big weed in my mind, and it was keeping me from singing. And I guess that can also happen in a garden.
It can.
And what would happen if you left this weed?
It'd get about this tall,
okay,
and we'd have to use a shovel to get it out.
Okay, so, and then would it multiply?
It would. It would put out seed, and it would spread more of it around.
Right. So what, in regards to singing, my theory is that there are a lot of us walking around the planet who are actually singers, who have just let a weed that we heard or that got planted in our minds when we were in 5th grade or after our degree or at any time in life just grow. And so we're going to start pulling these weeds, because
right,
just talking about them really kind of makes me want to pull them. So again, our protection is our not our weeds. Our protection is our gloves.
There we go.
And in life, we can look around us and decide where do we feel safe when we're pulling these weeds. The puppies are playing too. Puppies want to pull the weeds too. Where can we feel safe? And that's when we start to think about the gardening team of people around us. We need to have a supportive teacher who understands the nature of our weed, that it is something that can grow and spread really quickly, and also the importance of getting it completely out. So yeah, we have our gloves. If it was bigger, we would have our shovel.
That's right.
Could you just show us how this is done?
Well, yeah. Pretty basic. You reach down here.
Okay.
And you go all the way down to the bottom.
She's going down to the roots.
Because you want to get these roots out of here. See the roots on there?
Yeah.
Once you get past, see this part right here?
Yeah.
You got the roots, the weed's dead.
So it's dead.
Yep.
So we can just toss it. That is such an awesome feeling.
And the other thing we talked about was the size.
Yeah.
That one was a decent size weed.
Yeah.
We got a small one over here. It's a lot easier.
Okay.
Doesn't take any time at all.
Right.
But we got the root there too.
Right.
So the trick is to catch these things when they're small.
Right.
But the bigger they are, perhaps the more assistance you'd need.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good point. So what Opera Organically is about also is learning what can be a weed in the singer's experience. What's a small weed? What's a large weed? And how do you deal with it? So it's pretty basic, isn't it?
Pretty basic.
Pretty basic.
Well, it's human nature after all. I mean, we are all like that, whether we're singers or gardeners or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to watch for that.
Well, let's go pull some more because this just feels really good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, everybody. Tom and Becky have given me some weeds to pull. I'm sure they're very grateful for that. I'm getting thumbs up from Becky. She's like, go for it. This is a row of asters. They will be purple, pink, and white. And they actually were started in the greenhouse right over there. So again, it was the cultivation that Tom and Becky gave them that allowed them to now be safely out here in the open. And one of the things that we as students of singing don't always think about is the fact that we might have to get down on our hands and knees and do some dirty work in life, again, to pull those weeds. So I have decided to do some singing here while I pull these weeds. There are some really nasty ones here with some spikes on them. So I've got my gloves on. So of course I'm going to avoid the beautiful asters that are just thriving here, and I'm going to sing a little bit while I do it. And that's actually something to always remember, that it is possible to sing while we are doing this work. So even when your voice, when your mind, when your soul, when your spirit is ridden with weeds, it's possible to keep singing. That's that love-based voice that we talked about the other day with Lena. That love-based voice is always there. And it would be the same as thinking that the potential for these asters to grow is always here in the dirt, in Becky and Tom's minds. Even if this place was completely covered with weeds, there is still the potential for these beautiful asters to thrive. So here we go. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. Then stand wherever you may be, for I am the Lord of the dances here. To turn will be your delight, till by turning, we come round right. Thank you for joining me here for 30 Days of Opera Organically. Thank you to Tom and to Becky for this beautiful setting. And thank you to everyone who cares enough about beauty that they will take the time to pull the weeds. We'll see you tomorrow.
You happen to pick one of our favorites.
Oh, that's funny.